Custom AI apps are about to replace a huge chunk of the spreadsheets and busy work in your Amazon business. Because for the first time, you can actually build your own powerful AI apps and dashboards in just minutes. No coding or no technical skills needed. While most sellers are still trapped in messy spreadsheets that constantly break, you can build clean, simple tools that actually work. So today, I'm showing you how to build 3 AI micro apps from scratch. So let's dive in. This is a quick overview of the AI apps we are going to build today. One of them is Review Insights. This app allows you to analyze hundreds and hundreds of reviews with AI and give you insights about your products, the strengths and weaknesses based on the feedback you received. So as you can see, the strengths and weaknesses all broken down nicely with the quotes from your reviews. It will also give you ideas on product improvements, how to prevent the negative feedback you received on your reviews. It also gives you listing images ideas, again, based on the feedback you received, solving the pain points. The next one is Amazon Search Term Report Insights. This is an app where you can upload your Amazon Search Term reports to give you a detailed summary about the performance, where are you wasting your ad spend, what are the winners you have in your report. So again, very useful. And the last one is Amazon Listing Copy Generator. So we upload a listing keyword list into our app, and it will generate ideas for images, A+ content, but it also generates the title for the product, it generates the bullet points for the product, and the backend search terms. So this app will generate your keywords. So now we can go ahead and build these 3. This is a live build of our AI apps. We are going to build all of this from scratch. So I do believe that micro AI apps will soon become an essential part of our businesses, and they will replace most of our spreadsheets for reporting and other functionality. Because if you are like most sellers, I assume that your Amazon business is currently powered by dozens of complex spreadsheets. And it makes sense, because we can either rely on third-party software, which in many cases doesn't do exactly what we need, or we can build spreadsheets. And as you know, spreadsheets, especially the complex one, have their own issues, right? They break, it's hard to teach someone how to use them, it's hard to update them. So in this case, I do believe that micro apps we can build with AI actually solve this problem, because they are essentially mini tools solving a specific thing in our business we can develop in just a few minutes without learning how to code or having a developer. So you can either create dashboards or you can create apps that fit your exact workflow, not generic software, right? So we kind of flipped the script, because before with third-party software, we kind of had to develop our workflows around the software. But now we are actually building a software that reflects our workflow and our framework. It basically reflects the way we want to do things. And I do believe that this is significantly better than spreadsheets, because the interface is cleaner, so it's easier to train people. There are no formulas you need to learn, so it's less likely to break. Plus, most importantly, we can actually integrate AI into it if it's supposed to serve a specific function. So we can basically turn a dashboard into an app. And even though it may sound intimidating, all of this is actually easier to learn than spreadsheets. So how you can use this in your business? We are going to show you 3 different apps. One is Search Term Report Analysis, a very simple dashboard. Then we will create a listing generator, essentially an app that will generate full listings out of a list of keywords. And lastly, the most impressive one is actually Review Insights, where we will scrape reviews from a listing and it will give us insight about the products, about the listings, how to improve that, how to optimize it, right? So this one will be powered by AI. I want to stress out that this is not like a cool tech demo. I really want to show you practical use cases, something you can start using in your business right away. Because out there are many like tech demos that are very, very impressive, but they serve one specific purpose. It looks nice on the video, but it's very hard to make it work in the real environment in your business. So I really want to position this as an operations upgrade, something you can really start using right away. So when it comes to building these apps, I will cover my process, right? We are going to work with Lovable, which is essentially a software that helps us build the apps with AI. So we will describe what our app should do, and hopefully the AI will then build the app. But to make this even easier, I use Claude, right, the large language model, to write very, very detailed descriptions of the app. Because Lovable works in a way that we need to describe the app, of course, using words, and it's not always easy to cover everything you need in the first prompt. That's why we use something like Claude in my project right here, which I created, Lovable AI Dashboard Builder, because that will help us write the instructions. So as you can see, it will write the detailed app specifications, it will write the API integration guide, everything will be created by Claude. So first of all, we have a conversation with Claude, we clarify what the app should do, what it should look like, all of this, right? We will have a bunch of documents, and we will then put it into Lovable and hopefully create the app on the first prompt. In Claude, I have this project with a detailed system prompt for actually building these dashboards. So that will be available in the link below. So you can access this prompt, get a copy of this to help you create these dashboards. Because if you don't have that, sometimes Claude doesn't really give you everything you need. So this one is already trained. And our goal here is to essentially one-shot the app. It means that we want to create the app, or at least 90% of the app, on the first try, right? That will save us time and also headaches, because every iteration of the app can potentially make it more complicated. So we really want to make sure that the description is as detailed as possible on the first try. Once we pass it into Lovable, then we will need to iterate. There will probably be some minor errors, but I will show you how easy it is actually to fix those errors with Lovable. And we will be done in 10, 20, 30 minutes building these apps. So as you will see, it is actually way faster than building spreadsheets, and it will do exactly what we need. I also want to stress out that we will be building simple apps that solve a specific problem, right? It does one thing extremely well. I see a lot of people try to build something very comprehensive, some all-in-one tool. Like, you could potentially do that, your Helium 10, your seller board, all of these things. But we don't want to reinvent the wheel, right? If you have a profit dashboard that works, like seller board or whatever, use that one. Don't create a new one. But if you need some specific function, a framework, following your framework to create listings, that's where this shines, like very specific purpose. Don't think multi-purpose all-in-one, one simple app, one specific purpose. So you can have multiple micro apps, right? That's why we call it micro apps. So it will be faster to build, easier to use, and zero maintenance. Beautiful. Now, so the workflow philosophy behind this, how we are going to structure these apps, is that they will work like this. You will have some report, some CSV, either you get it from Amazon, keyword research, whatever. And the idea is that we want an app where we will upload the report and we will get some result, right? The app will visualize it. It will use AI, to answer questions, to describe it, whatever we need, right? So in this case, we upload keyword list and we get full listing on the other side, the title, bullet points, backend search terms, and all of that stuff, right? So this is the idea. This is the workflow. Because I want to stress out that there are essentially two ways we can do it. We can do like proper apps with databases, right? Where you would care about the logins, this is for other end users, if you want to develop essentially a software. So you would have some automations that automatically download the reports in N8N. You would have a backend database that would store, you would have history of all of the data sets, right? And that you would have the front end in Lovable. We're not going to do this, right? This is advanced. So you can essentially create an app that automatically pulls the data, it automatically stores them and visualizes them, right? So essentially, this is how you would recreate something like a seller board. Not going to do that. What we are going to do, as I said, our workflow philosophy is simple. We just want to show and work with specific reports. So we will have a CSV, a report file, your Excel file. We upload it into our app and we get some output. Very straightforward, but it's 10 times easier to build and it does like 80% of the work we need, right? So let's get into it. We can start building this. And as I said, we are going to begin with a search term analysis. So in this case, this is a simple dashboard. We don't need AI implemented into this dashboard because essentially we are using formulas. We are using formulas to calculate everything we need. So here I always prepared the assignment prompt, just kind of describing what we need, right? So I don't want to waste your time. This is what we will paste into Claude. So the idea here is that we will have a CSV report. We download it manually from Amazon, right? So we have some complex CSV report, and we will paste it into our app we create in Lovable. That should hopefully give us all of the calculations, recommendations, the filters, insights, all of that according to our assignment. So the assignment is simple. We will attach a sample Amazon sponsored product search term report, and I want to generate a Lovable app, right? The idea is that the Lovable app will receive the CSV file, right? Essentially what I just described, and the output will be divided into core tabs: executive summary, detailed performance breakdown, wasted ad spend, winners overview, and data explorer, right? Before analysis, users will configure performance targets. Target ACoS, target ROAS, minimum spend threshold, minimum clicks. Keep the recommendations brief, and so on. So as you can see, this is a simple assignment, right? This is kind of what I can write by myself, but this wouldn't be sufficient for Lovable, because as you will see, if I paste this into our Claude project, it will ask us a lot of questions. And those questions are essential so we can go deeper. We can add as much detail as possible. And you will see what Claude actually does with this. So we will just take this assignment, right? That is the first assignment you would write. I would go into the Lovable AI dashboard. As I said, make sure you create a project in your Claude. In the instructions, you copy the system prompt, which will be available in the AI agent vault down below. So now I copy pasted this prompt into Claude, and I also included the search term report as a sample here, so he knows exactly what those reports look like. So now we will send it to Claude, and you will see that we will get a bunch of questions. And as I said, I will probably make a cut in the video so I can answer all of them. Now he asked us multiple questions, about data and calculations. Then we have recommendations and actions, UI details, technical and flow, and so on. So we have 16 questions. So I now will sit down and actually answer all of these. But as you can see, even though the assignment I thought was quite, detailed, I included everything I wanted, there are a lot of unknowns. And this is why we do this first in Claude, so we can be as specific as possible. So let me now answer all of these questions. I answered all of these questions right here, and now he's asking for confirmation summary, right? So he has everything he needs, and he's just asking for confirmation. So this is how we trained the particular project. So I can say, yes, proceed. And now he will generate all of the files we need, and the prompt we will then copy paste into Lovable. And now we have these beautiful instructions. So he says copy and paste this into Lovable, and he also generated the files. So as you can see, we have the detailed app specification file and also Amazon PPC best practices file. So I will now download these, and then we will upload all of this into Lovable according to these instructions. Now we are in Lovable. Of course, in order to build this, you will need the premium account, but it's like $20 to buy the credits. And with the credits you get for 1 month, we will be able to build all of these apps you can then use as long as you want. So it is definitely worthwhile to invest into that. So I will copy and paste the prompt right here, and then I will click attach, where I will include all of these files. So we will have the detailed app specification, the best practices, and also our search term report he will need, right? So we will wait a second to upload it. The prompt is here as intended, and now we will see what Lovable actually does with it. We waited for roughly 5 minutes, and Lovable actually created the app according to our assignment. So as you can see what I created, design system, core features, everything is we requested here, right? That was our first prompt. He did this for 3, 4, 5 minutes, and now we are ready to try this. I want to stress out that it rarely ever works on the first try, right? We will likely have to make some adjustments, and I will also show you how to do that because it's very straightforward, right? We are just talking to the AI the same way you would talk to ChatGPT or Claude. You can just talk right here, and he implements the changes. So let me see. Amazon PPC report, analyze, upload your Amazon sponsored product search term. So I will choose file. Here we have the search term report, configure performance targets, right, as we requested. And as I said before, you can make this exactly, reflect your workflow. So this is just me creating it, as I'm thinking how I would create this app, but maybe you have different goals. Maybe you want to structure it in a different way. So you can do this easily, right? That is the power of it. You can customize it. So analyze report. Let's see what comes out. And now we are noticing we have the app, but we're noticing that total sales here is not showing, right? I know that in this report, there should be some sales. So we have total spent works, but total sales are not showing. Analyze search terms 7,200. Performance distribution, recommendations, all otherwise it looks pretty good, right? But as we can see, sales here are 0 everywhere. So ACOS and everything is not showing correctly, right? Everything else should here work as intended. So I will just go here. But if I would write something, what I want him to do, he will do that immediately and it would start eating my credits. So what I can do, I can ask that I want to just chat, chat without making edits to your project. So I would click on that and say, I noticed that the sales section is empty, showing 0. So I simply ask him that I noticed that this section is showing 0 and he should look into that, right? Using the chat feature. And as you can see, he then goes, takes a look at the CSV file and notices that there is some issue, which to be honest, I don't understand at all, but I do not care as long as it works. So then he asks you to implement the plan. So I said like, go ahead, implement this and we will see if it works or not. So now we implemented the changes and we can upload the report and see what it looks like, right? We adjusted the app to showcase everything. So now we have the target ACOS. All of these thresholds are here. We will click Analyze Report. And now we get this overview where we see the total spend, total revenue, overall ROAS. We have actions, recommendations, right? So everything we specified in Claude is now right here. Detailed performance, so we can just filter this out so you can see all of this, right? So it's showing the key metrics for all of our 8,500 search terms. We have wasted, ad spend. Of course, the data is anonymized here, but you can see, critical high spend, total wasted spend, 8.5% of total budget is wasted on search terms that are not performing, not getting any sales. Then we have winners, top 5 ROAS performers, top 5 revenue drivers. So you can see, based on our specification, we get something like this and the recommendations. So I would probably spend some time, adjusting this according to my framework, what I'm actually looking for. But you get the idea, right? It is fairly straightforward. Building an app, you can spend 30 minutes, 20, 30 minutes, and you would build something like this. And then every time you download your report, you can put it in there and you see everything you defined that you want to see. And then you can simply publish the app. I will again give you access to this. So in the link in the description, so you can make copy of the app, make your own changes, start using it, and kind of get the idea how all of this works. Plus, you can build this only for the internal purpose, right? If you publish it and then you have a link, your team can start using it, right? It's your own app you can use internally. So now, since we have the Amazon search term analyzer, which was this one, we can continue on the next app. And in this case, it's going to be an AI app because we are going to use AI inside the app we are going to create. So the idea here is that we will have a keyword list, so you will do your manual keyword research, however you do that. We will have a list of keywords for our, let's say, new product launch. And the idea is that we will upload the keyword list into Lovable. Lovable will send an API call to Claude, right? So on the back end, it will reach out to the AI to help it transform the keyword list into an optimized listing. And then the final listing will be presented in Lovable, right? So first of all, in order to get the API call, you will need to set up your Claude console. So you will simply go to Claude console and you will log in there. You can do this with ChatGPT, right? You can get the API key from ChatGPT as well. So you would go, ChatGPT console, and you then need to generate your own API key, because this is different from the Claude we are using here, right? This is used for the backend software. And here, the beautiful thing about this is that you are charged per usage, right? Just to give you an idea about the costs involved. So building this app would cost me like $2 to $3, right? Roughly on the credits we used on the search term report analysis. And here for generating the listings, you will see that we will pay once essentially to Lovable, like a few dollars. And then each listing we generate is just a few cents, right? So it's basically for free. But let's begin, right? Again, in our database here in listing generator, we have the keyword list, right? As I said, so we kind of already did this manual step. And now we will go back to Claude and we will copy paste this assignment to Claude. So this assignment, again, kind of just breaks down what we want from this app. So we will upload the list of keywords and we essentially have the output divided into core tabs. Strategy breakdown, high-level summary of the conversion rate optimization strategy for this product, positioning, and so on. Again, if this was my brand, I would hard code, our positioning, our target avatar, and all of this into the app. But since I'm not doing this, I will just say like, hey, let the AI decide how to optimize this product and how to position it, how to sell it. Then we will get image ideas, detailed description of all secondary image with reasoning, A+ content, include ideas of what to include in this section, title, include 3 variations, bullet points, include 3 variations, backend search terms, list of search term to include. As you can see, again, very simple assignment, but what we are going to do is we are going to copy it and paste it again into Claude, and we are also going to include the file as a sample so he knows what the keyword list looks like. And again, Claude will ask us a bunch of questions we need to answer in order to get the detailed assignment for Lovable. Same scenario as before, Claude is asking us a bunch of questions so he can specify the assignment as much as possible. So again, I will take a few minutes to answer all of these right now. We answered all of these questions, we got the summary, and Claude is asking us for confirmation. So now we will say yes, proceed, so he can generate the prompt. We will copy paste to Lovable and all of the specification files. The full assignment is ready. So the same as before, we have the detailed app specification file. So let me download that and put it into our listing generator. All right, so the name will stay the same. We also have the Claude prompt template. This is the one that Lovable will be sending via the API call to AI, as I said. And here, copy paste this into Lovable, then attach the files listed below, right? So the instructions are very detailed. So what I'm gonna do is I'm simply gonna copy it, go back to Lovable, copy paste the prompt, right? Listing copy generator. So as you can see, all of this attached files. Now we'll go attach Claude prompt template, detailed ad specification, and Martini keyword list. So open. Now we have the 3 files uploaded successfully. So we will go ahead and send it to Lovable. And in the meantime, as Lovable is working on this, we will go to the Claude console. And as I said, you will have to upload like $5 into your wallet. So the API keys can then just, consume some of the money you have there. So you will go to settings and billing, and top up your card. So as you can see here, I topped up like $5. We still have $3 left, which is more than enough. So we'll top up like $5, go to API keys, and we will generate an API key when Lovable asks for it. And we will just copy paste the key into Lovable so it can send the call to Claude and get the full listing as an output. Now, Lovable is already asking us to enable the Lovable Cloud. This means that he will allow us to input the API key and store it securely on their end in our database. So we will go allow. And now it will likely ask us to include the API key when requested. So let's give it a second. He's asking us to add secret. And as you can see, Anthropic API key. So I'm going to go here, create key. And I will go, Lovable listing generator, and I will click add. It will generate the API key. We will, of course, blur it. I will copy the key, close this, and I can then see how much the specific app actually spent. So we will be tracking the cost right here. I will go back into Lovable, paste my key, go submit. Now he has everything he needs, so he will start working on the app. Perfect. So our first version of the app is ready. So as you can see, complete features, CSV upload, Claude Haiku integration, 6 result tabs. So everything we already described in our initial prompt is created. But as I mentioned, rarely ever it works on the first try. So let's upload our keyword list right here and ask to generate listing copy and see what happens. So of course, as I said, we got an error, but I don't even have to investigate. I would say try to fix, immediately, and it kind of uploads the error back to the AI so he can take a closer look at it and help us fix that. So what I really like is that Lovable is able to identify the issues, right? So we said fix these issues, and he said I can see the issue clearly. The model name I used doesn't exist, so he fixed that. He used Claude 3.5 Haiku, but then I told him like, hey, I actually want to use the 4.5, so then he implemented the 4.5. So let's try it again. It is likely that we will get some error again, but the iterations are part of the process, right? So we will have to do that 3-4 times. It will take 10 minutes to actually go through this before we get this to work. So let's see what happens now. So we got an error as expected. So we will try again, fix these issues, and Lovable will look into that, hopefully fix it, and we will soon we'll be able to actually make this work. And really, you don't need to understand what these issues are, because you always click on fix these issues. He finds the issue, fix it. And here you can see Claude is returning the JSON wrapped in Markdown code. Like, you don't really need to know what's happening, but we will try it again. And hopefully this time it will already be all good. Beautiful, it worked. So now we have generated listing copy, and as we requested, we have these sections: strategy. Actually, let me zoom in a bit. We have strategy, images, A+ content, titles, bullets, keywords, right? So the strategy breakdown, if I did this for our business, I would of course include and hard code these things about our customer avatar, our positioning, all of this into the app. But this time I let the AI to determine this, the whole strategy based on the keyword list, which of course is not optimal, but he breaks down the strategy right here, what he does. The keyword hierarchy, the target customer profile, primary customers, adults aged 30 to 55. It's martini glasses, right? Who entertain regularly or aspire to sophisticated home entertaining. They value both aesthetic and functionality. Conversion rate optimization strategy should emphasize set-based purchasing, and so on. So he kind of breaks down the strategy he's going to use for the listing: keyword integration, competitive differentiation, keep psychology triggers to leverage, social proof. So he actually breaks down the whole strategy for the listing. And then we can go into images, right? So image number 1, complete set of 4 in context. So that's high priority, right? Show all 4 glasses arranged on an elegant, entertaining surface, marble countertop park art. So as you can see, a lot of detail, and also the reasoning behind it, right? How it's actually connecting to the strategy we determined, right? Addresses the highest intent keywords. This hero image conveys the complete entertaining solution, reduces purchase anxiety by showing the full offering. Then we have size comparison and variety options, close-up crystal quality and craftsmanship, always the reasoning, right? Implies quality positioning tied to brand searches and so on. Entertaining scene with multiple cocktails, description, reasoning. So it's very, very good, even though we didn't spend that much time actually specifying what the AI should do. Give presentation, packaging, and so on. So you have the ideas for your secondary images, but we also got the A+ content, comparison chart, feature breakdown. All of this is here. So based on this, we could create the brief for our photographer, for our designer. We have the titles, premium crystal martini glasses set of 4, elegant cocktail drinkware for entertaining. Again, with the reasoning, feature specific. So we asked to create 3 different variations of the title, with different kind of angle. So this one is set, focus, benefit driven, premium positioning. This one is feature specific, size and variety emphasis, brand and versatility focused. The same thing he did for bullets, right? So he created the bullet points according to this strategy with reasoning. And lastly, we have the backend search terms. So now I could upload these keyword lists for different products, and he would determine this. If you have, 1-2 brands, you would hard code all of these details into it. So maybe it would be a little bit more specific, but you get the idea. Now you have the app. I could click publish. My team could use it every single time to quickly generate listings, right? And we could then potentially automate this even further, right? So we could connect it into our database where we have the keyword list, so we don't have to upload it manually and so on. So this is, again, very useful to have everything in one place, all generated with AI. And now the coolest part is that this whole thing cost us 9 cents. can see $0.09, right? So pretty much nothing. So that is the beautiful part. Now we have the app and we can use it again and again. Now we can proceed to create the last app, and I'm actually the most excited about this one because it's extremely useful. We will be creating an app to get review insights. So how this is gonna work, we will get a scrape of Amazon listing, the reviews. Actually, I'm not going to cover this in this video because it's outside of the scope of this video, how to actually do these scrapes, but you can use Bright Data or Epify to scrape the Amazon listing to get the text of reviews on a specific listing. What you're gonna get is a sheet with all the reviews, right? So let's say you have 200, 500 reviews in one spreadsheet. We will copy paste to Lovable. Lovable will send it to Claude exactly the same way it did for the listing. Claude will analyze it and give us final insights from the reviews. So as you can see, we are asking Claude to create 5 core tabs, summary, key insights from the rest of the dashboard, then product strengths and weaknesses, what people like and dislike about the product, product improvements, ideas how to improve the product based on the feedback, for listing section, ideas for images to optimize conversions based on the feedback, and lastly, data explorer, so we can go through the data. So let me put this into Claude, once again, into our Lovable AI dashboard. I will upload the file, review insights, the full review sheet, and again, Claude will ask us multiple questions to finalize this dashboard. If you're not sure about the scraping, I actually have a video about setting up MCPs. I will also link it down in the description, which allow you to use Claude to access this directly like Epify to scrape the listings. It's not complicated, right? Bright Data or Epify, you will be able to get your review list like this. Very straightforward to do that. And then you can create these dashboard. So let's see, we will get a bunch of questions. Again, I will answer all of them and we will continue. We answered all of the questions and now we have the confirmation summary, breaking down everything we asked for. So we just, specified everything in detail. So now we say, yes, proceed. So he creates the prompt and the files we need. We will then copy and paste into Lovable. Now we have everything we need. We have our opening prompt for Lovable. So let me copy that. We have detailed app specification and Claude prompt template. So let me download it, put it into our review insights sheet folder. So here we will put this also the Claude prompt template. Go back to Lovable, copy and paste this prompt, and now we're going to attach all of these files from the review insights. So open. Now we have the full assignment and we can send it over. So Lovable can start creating this, and in the meantime we can create another API key for this app. So this would be Lovable review insights, and we will create this, copy the key, and wait for Lovable. Now we will enable the cloud the same way as before, so we can input our API key so it can securely store it and continue building this app. The process is exactly the same as before, so I will include my API key right here, and now Lovable will build the whole review insight dashboard. A few minutes later, our first draft of the app is ready, but as we know, it never works on the first try, so let's upload it and see. So we have our review sheet here. Then we can take analyze reviews, and we already have an issue right here. So we will ask Lovable to help us fix it. We ask Lovable to fix the issue and implement the plan. So hopefully this time we will get a bit closer. Again, uploading the file, another test run. Actually, it was the same issue as before, that Lovable decided to use the 3.5 Haiku model from Claude, which is the old one, but we want to use the 4.5 because there is basically a token limit, right? We are sending a lot of reviews for analysis. The older model couldn't handle it, but the new one can, right? But again, Lovable helped me uncover this issue. It's the same issue that happened before. So now it's implemented. We can select the file and try the analysis once again. Our analysis is ready. So this time it worked well. So as you can see, we have the summary, the sentiment overview, the top themes, what's actually repeating in the reviews, exactly as we ask: extreme fragility and breaking, thin cheek feeling glass, beautiful modern design, so we can see what's positive, what's negative, the recurring themes, and how often they actually appear in reviews. There are some quick stats. 68% of reviews mention glass breaking easily or stemming from fragility. Priority actions, right? So this is how we structured the summary. But the most impressive part is actually the strengths and weaknesses, right? So we see the strengths where our product shines, modern, elegant, unique design. We even get some quotes from the reviews kind of supporting this claim. And we see how many of these reviews actually mention this. 89% of 5-star reviews highlight design as primary reason for purchase. Design mentioned in 62% of 4-star reviews. Excellent value and aesthetic appeal, perfect for gift giving, and so on. So this is a gold mine, right? This information is a gold mine to actually see what customers like, what we should highlight in our listings, and also what they don't like, the weaknesses, extreme fragility and frequent breaking, paper thin glass. 94% of 1-star reviews, 87% of 2-star reviews mention breakage. Even 11% of 5-star review mention breakage. Then we have paper thin glass feels like plastic, widespread manufacturing defects, high damage rate on arrival, dangerous sharp edges when broken, unrealistic product claims versus delivery, and as you can see. So these one are the most recurring one. We should pay to these attention. But now, product improvements, right? Based on the reviews, we can see what the AI recommends us we can do to improve the product. Increase glass thickness and upgrade material quality, redesign and reinforce stem structure, implement rigorous quality control, upgrade shipping and packaging to absorb impact. So it's what to change. It's very detailed, right? Improve protective packaging for a fragile product. Why this matters. 35% of orders arrive with damage despite existing styrofoam packaging. Supporting evidence. You get the quotes from the reviews. This is a gold mine for every seller, for every product. So as you can see, it's very, very detailed. All of these ideas how we could improve the product. But that's not all. We also have listing images, ideas how to consider these pain points, the strengths and the product improvements, like how to put it all together to create an optimized listing. So we have main images, lifestyle, 4 images, pain point. Customer need to see how glasses look in actual use, elegant but safe handling, visual focus, call out text, perfect for celebrating life's moments. Customers want to see versatility. Can these be used for different occasions? Multiple style scenarios, champagne toasters wedding, Prosecco brunch, motorhome, bar display, dinner party setting. It's amazing, right? Infographic, different types of images, comparison. Customer want to verify this is actually glass, not plastic. So now it's addressing the issues that people might read in the negative feedback, right? Very, very valuable. So all of this on one analysis. And again, as I showed you before, how much did this analysis cost? So let's see, $0.06 for one product. Amazing. And now we have this app, we can use it for every single product, right? Beautiful. Of course, there are some improvements I would make to this app. I would automate the listing scrape, right? In the beginning, I would just add a different section so we don't have to manually download the CSV. We would just input the ASIN, click analyze. It would scrape the listing, pull the reviews, send it to AI to make it a little bit more convenient to use. So if you want to see this, I will create another video to actually make this improvement and share this app with you. But really, I was blown away the first time I tried this, how good this actually is and how well presented it is, right? Because now everyone can use this, right? Just click of a button and you are good to go. You can publish it. So now, if you want to get access to the prompt to create these dashboards, you want to get access to all of these apps I created, there will be a link in the description for the resource vault where I include all of my resources, the tools I use, the videos I watched to learn this, all of the materials I created, the templates for the apps, automations I create, everything is in one place. I keep it updated all the time. And the next video to watch is about ChatGPT, because mastering the large language models like Claude and ChatGPT is the first step. So if you don't feel entirely confident in using this, I highly recommend you to watch this video next. I will see you next week. Bye.